Hey, how you doing? This right here is from a video I did a while back. I'm sure some of you have already seen it, maybe from the UFO fleet video. And the reason that I'm starting this one right here is because of the intensity right here of this object. All right, I mean it's extremely, bright right here, causing a lot of interference on the camera here, and so wind this forward here a little bit. Again, this is the first out of 5 of them that came across. I filmed this one intentionally and the other ones accidentally. But this one here, when I first saw it, I thought, well, that's interesting. And then it started to falter in its intensity and its apparently ability to fly. And so I thought, well, somebody just lost a few $100s or whatever on a drone, and something happened to it. Now the darn thing's going down, and I'm sure they're pretty upset about it. But then I thought, maybe it's not a drone. It couldn't be something like a UFO that actually got shot down or anything, could it? And I was like, nope, don't think so. Probably not that at all. It's just a drone gone dysfunctional. Well, then I put it through some filters. Now you see the intensity of the interference there is gone to about 0, because the intensity levels of this object here has been virtually wiped out. Now this here is from a video I took with the other camera, and I had it zoomed way in or way out, whatever you want to call it. And so the object, you can see when I was filming in infrared, which is what I guide my other camera with, and I'm not real steady. So since the telephoto lens was wound out so far, any minor movements like that either put the object in view or immediately out of view. And it did a lot of out of view stuff there. So I got a little bit of it, but not a lot. But anyway, this is a screen grab from that color video. And you can see this thing has got layers on it. And I hesitate to say force field, but for all intents and purposes and practicalities, that's what that is. It's some type of a force field or energy field that's protecting whatever it is that's on the inside. And this right here is a direct hit. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When I saw this, I accidentally came across this. The original filter, I had to change this down and tone it down because I was just running through filters just for the fun of it. And I came across some like day glow colors of filters, and bang, this popped out, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So, it was real bright greens, bright oranges, too intense to really put on here. So, I started going through and taking screen grabs. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? It can't just be a glitch, but obviously that's a direct hit. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Look at this energy field on the outside of this thing gets discombobulated or disrupted. You know what I'm saying? Here's another image out of the color video of it, and you can see the intensity is starting to wind down a little bit. It's not nearly as bright as it was, and due to the fact there's another direct hit. Now I find this extremely interesting because now instead of what we have last time, 5 beams hitting it, now you've got 3. So whoever's firing at this thing has got some pretty elaborate freaking equipment, don't they? I mean, can you imagine a laser gun or a laser beam that's got like, Jeezy, Pete, I don't know, it's a Gatling gun, that's got several barrels at one time that they can fire? I mean, there's no doubt in what you're looking at there, in my opinion. But anyway, you can see here it's a little bit more wiped out and less intense. And here again, now you see a double shot on that thing. And that must have really energized it. In other words, if you put enough energy into something, and it can't do anything with that energy. It has no way to disperse that energy. It's going to explode or implode depending on whatever the materials are that that thing's made out of. So they may just be energizing this thing to the point to where it just self-destructs on its own, basically, without having a laser beam hole fired through it. It just might put an extra level of energy into that thing that it can't handle or tolerate. So it just becomes dysfunctional. And here again, another less intense image of it. And this final image here, well, of the filters ones anyway, you can see the intensity of this thing is just all but not there. I mean, it's completely, its shield is gone, and now its energy output is about zilch. I mean, it's done. And now we've got just a single shot coming at it. And what I find extremely interesting is this one here. It comes up and stops. What the heck did I do there? This one comes up and stops. How in the world can you get a photograph of a beam of light that only goes so far and stops? That's not possible. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on there? Why does that look like that? If that's a laser beam, okay, it should just keep on going. Maybe it's a DEW weapon, you know what I'm saying, or what they call that directed energy weapons. They call them DEWs. Maybe it's one of those, and they've got a range finding capabilities, and it can go out so far and strike the target and go no farther. Or instead of it being a drone, instead of it being a UFO that's close and flying by, this thing was probably down over Kentucky or South Carolina somewhere. This thing may have been taken down out over the ocean for all intents and purposes, because this, in my opinion, up here in the corner where this stops right here, has got to be the edge of space. In other words, when you see people using laser beams to try to, coax in an orb or a UFO or something like that, right? And you see the beam going out, it doesn't look like it's very long, but it actually is. It's going all the way up to the upper edges of the atmosphere, and when there's no longer any atmosphere to illuminate the laser beam and it goes into the vacuum of space, you can't see it anymore. It's not there. So I think that's what this is right here. Whoops. I think that's what this is right here. That's the edge of space, which means this is not a drone, and it also means that it may be extremely large and very far away. So the fifth one in that UFO fleet video, if you watch it, it kind of starts struggling too. So I didn't get a color, video of it, so I couldn't put it through any filters to be able to see whether or not it was getting taken out too or not. But anyway, maybe we really do have a space force, and either these were what the military or the government considers enemies, or else this was just targeting practice on the very edges of space with some fancy new weapons that we have. But anyway, thanks for having a look. Be sure to take care out there, and I hope we get to do this again sometime. Take care.